Hello viewers, and welcome back to our Let's Play, or Let's Try, of Order of Battle Pacific over here. So, moving forwards from, well, the first portion of our Let's Try, I figured we'd take a look at a land battle, moving forwards from Pearl Harbor. For finishing two of the side objectives here, we gained two decent rewards from it in the grand scheme of things. So, each and every single one of the missions do have an overall effect on your campaign, especially for those side objectives. Namely, looks like enemy fleets and enemy aircraft will be kind of weakened for the next bit of time. The game starts in December 1941, and it looks like it says for several months, so that is a very good sign. Anyhow, for mission 2, we are moving to Luzon, the Philippines. Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. The 14th Army has taken North Luzon province, facing little opposition. We're on a strict timetable, speed is of the ensigns. And from the looks of it, all we're really supposed to do is to capture all the major objectives along the route over here. So, this is where the game really opens up. I mean, some people have addressed their concerns as to whether or not the $40 for this game, which I admit is pretty steep, is worth it or not. But so far, I've played through this mission and a few others, and I'd say that it's definitely very interesting. So let's see. Missions to capture all the VPs, which I believe are the golden American ones. On the map right over here. Destroy the airfield in 12 turns. We'll probably need some bombers for that, but be rest assured that should be pretty weak. Capture both main bridges over here by 12 turns. That'll be a bit of a stretch. And lastly, complete the mission in 35 turns. Okay. So what the game does now is we're given 3 troops over here. So we have 2 Japanese infantry units and 1 team of engineers. And now we can actually purchase troops, and this is really when we can form the bases for our forces right over here. So how does this work? So we have a large variety of different types of units we can buy, and starting off, I figured we'd get a few things settled. Namely, we need some reconnaissance. How buying your troops work is that you can have a large reserve of troops really just set up on the side of the screen here at the start of each battle. So what happens is that, depending on the size of the map, really, or depending on the scenario, you can only deploy a certain number of troops. As you may have noticed, there are little helmet icons, little plane icons corresponding to the amount of control points we have over here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to buy 1 unit of these recon planes. I'm going to buy a single 0, and you know what? I could make that 2. But I think I'll buy 2 tactical bombers instead. So now that we have all of these guys, we can deploy them, and we can well, get them going. So we can pluck them down on the map right now. But for now, what I think I'll do is that I'll buy some regular Japanese infantry to supplement that. And I don't know if there's say a hard limit as to how many of these guys that we can carry, but we'll get some regular Japanese infantry. And also, we'll take a look at some of the exotic variants of these guys. So, taking a look at the hard stats for these Japanese infantrymen, and I'm only going to focus on the important ones over here. So, they can do roughly, like, at the worst, half of their regular damage compared to what they can do to regular infantry. Taking a look at the Marines over here, they, from the looks of it, defend slightly better, and they also do slightly more damage to regular infantry. And you also have the specialty ones over here, the Tenshi Dan, which have a exceedingly large damage potential, but those guys are slightly more expensive than what I had hoped for. So I'm probably not going to buy any of them. What we have over here is some heavy infantry as well. Heavy infantry, I believe, yeah, they have more, yeah, they can do more damage against hard units, and they have more defense, but they're not really, say, useful because they're quite slow on the offense. So to supplement that, I figured we'd buy, I don't know, maybe 3 tank units. I really want to max out what we can buy for the first mission here, because we really want to carry these units through the rest of the game, really. Right. So on with that, I'm going to get our forces deployed here. You can place them down pretty much anywhere on these tiles, really. Let's get 2 tanks starting from this side, 1 tank starting from this side. and we will get all of our forces a large amount of infantry. Is that actually all of our infantry? No, yes it is. You know what? We will go with one unit of these Tinshidan infantries, and we'll pluck them down right over here. So we have ample, or rather, we can pluck down at least 3 more ground units, so that is very, very promising. But anyhow, let's start the battle and let's see what we can do. So the bonuses from recon units really is that they can move to multiple locations on one turn, and the nice thing about them is that they can spot a lot of things for you. So but they can't spot everything because things still can be camouflaged or concealed, if you will. So I'm guessing there's some infantry inside this town. We'll see what we can find right over here. And it looks like we found some US GIs, which have the same stats as us, and some lesser in quantity. If you notice, they have an attack of 6 and a defense of 7 over here of Philippine troops. So you know what? I'm gonna get our tanks to engage the Philippines first, hopefully. See what we can do about really pushing these guys out. And hopefully make them vulnerable to, or make that M3 AT gun vulnerable. And the reason being is that our tanks can finish off pretty much anything outside of that range. So they'll do that. Over here is probably the same story. If I move my troops close to towns, they will probably be occupied. And okay, so let's see. That'll be one fortification, and I can get the tanks to advance like that, so this is pretty good. And over here, let's get the bombers to make a few plays. And ooh, that did a whopping 5 points of damage. So this is very, very good. So our bombing strike here went pretty well. That thing should be gone next turn. And perfect. This is actually right along the route to that airfield that we were supposed to take out. So that'll finish up this turn nicely. Okay. So let's see what we can do. We have a decent chance of taking out this unit. Let's see what happens. No, but we can push him back. You know what? I would call that a equal measure to some extent. And perfect, we were able to push him out the first VP location. So this is very good. I'm gonna get our recon plane to push forwards. Gonna get the 0 to push forwards further. And I see one bombing target just right along the side there, but I'm not sure whether or not to go for that. Either way, we'll push forward those bombers towards the next objective along the line. Now, over here, what should we do? What should we do? You know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll get our people to... I'll get our infantry to start pushing all along the line here. Ooh, and that is another unit gone. Perfect. And you know what? I'm going to get the tanks to do a bit of a risky move here, but I want to really push for these two bridges, the one over here and the one over here. So I think I'll call that a acceptable risk. And namely, I'm going to buy another tank unit here. I'm going to check the stats of them just really quickly right over here. The Chaiha is slightly better, but it's slightly slower as well. In terms of firepower, it's slightly slower in terms of speed, of course. But you know what? I'm going to buy a second. I'm going to plug it right in. Okay. Ah, the AT gun's still alive, I see. Thought I could just kind of rush through here, but nope. In that case, I think our infantry right over here and our tank over here will provide ample support in clearing that village. In the meantime, I'll get our people to push real hard through the sides here. Now, one thing I've been wondering is whether or not surrounding a unit causes supply problems for them immediately, and it doesn't look like it necessarily does. Okay, so that is not necessarily bad, but it's not necessarily great. You know what? In this case, I'm gonna get our engineers to push ever forwards because we really need to conserve time right here. And likewise, I am really gonna get our people over here to just drive straight forwards. And you know what? Here's one thing that we do lack. I'm gonna get a cheap recon unit on the ground, more so for the purposes of capping off places that way, because these things can move twice per turn. Remember, they're very useful for capping victory locations, and that's of course spares our units one movement, if you will, which for intensive purposes really doesn't go to anything. Right, in that case the bombers go forwards, they want to heal, so that's fine. And let's see, the American forces have abandoned the capital of the Philippines and declared it an open city. And if I'm not mistaken, that should be this settlement right over here. I don't know if that is actually something in-game or whether or not that's kind of fluff, but we'll see. And now, ooh, these people are perfectly within bombing range. Perfect. Right. And the planes still go forward. We'll mop up those people right over there. We'll get these people to continue pushing. See what is over here. And now let's see. I think I might have been a better decision to just move forwards, really. Okay, so what we can do over here is that we might be able to surround the city and try to take it, given the fact that there's 3 units right over here. And with 3 units, I don't believe they were, rather there might be a chance that they won't have enough supply for them to be truly effective. No, that might be a bit of a risk. So, you know what? Try to get some of the units to do that, but for the most part, let's get some of our tanks here to really press forwards. And oh no, they found some Philippine defenders over there. Okay, so we need to capture these 2 bridges, and I think we're 5 out of 50, so we're on decent timing. And there we go. From the looks of it, that drive should be pretty good over here. I can get some more of our Hago tanks to perhaps go around the enemy, but I don't know how well they do over there. Now, for the fun part on the bombings over here, let's see what we can do. So I'm going to get our fighters to come over here, scout out the area. And, oh, would you look at that. Clark Airfield's protected by an AA gun. It only has 4 points of health. So I think this will be more so of an attrition type of deal. Okay, so there we go. We got 3 points of damage there, so one more turn should finish off Clark Airfield. That should finish up one of the objectives, and along the way back, our bombers should be able to do quite a lot of damage. So this is pretty good. Let's see. You know what? I could assign our aerial commander to one of those forces, but you know what? It's probably not going to be that worthwhile. Let's see. We'll get the good bomber to go in. And there we go, that's one secondary objective done. And the fighters should be able to pull back quite nicely now, so this is very, very good. Over here with the tank rush, if you will. You know what, I'm gonna leave that Philippine unit for the infantry following up. Right now, I just want these tanks to move forwards, really. So we'll get them set up. Infantry comes by and they can sweep through just like that. Now over here, this unit is a real pest. But I mean, luckily we were able to clean them up like that. So that's not too bad. Right. So let's get the infantry to group up and to, well, begin making an assault. You know what? We have points, so I think we'll buy one more unit of Japanese infantry. And, ooh, we can pluck that down right over here, and that should be something to look forward to for this area right here. Let's see what we have here. So American Stuart tanks charging our infantry. I think I'm going to have to pull these people back. I can heal them up for a minuscule sum, so I think I will. And would you look at that? That is one bridge captured. So this area should be more so fine than not. I don't know if that pillbox will do, say, an absurd amount of damage. But either way, I think we can make that a bombing objective for our fighters going, well, the other way. Right, so for now we can get those two, where those troops moving through that way. And over here, let's get our forces healed up as best as we can. And right, we'll try to make a push like that. Through this area over here. And there's nothing really good over there. Okay. Trying to decide where to send this tank. Might just be better to post it along the river right over there. Okay, so this is this is an American heavy infantry unit. That's kind of why it's been able to hold out for so long. It's that is a particularly difficult unit simply because it is a it's a heavy infantry unit, so it has a defense of 13 as opposed to 8, which is the value that we've been seeing very, very often here. Alright, so in that case, I can probably drive back the defenders here. And we can probably have that bunkered down very, very shortly. So focusing on this area, let's see what we can do. And that's also covered by AA guns. So our bombers still have quite a lot of fuel left, so this is very good. Over here, if I send these tanks forward, God, they're gonna get massacred. Let's see. That's probably because they don't have, if I bring this up, let's see. They probably don't have a high amount of efficiencies. For example, this unit has 0, that one has 4. So with that said, they have a hard time drawing supply, and these are the supply points, more so because, well, one has been out of supply for quite some time, and the other one just just hasn't been in the field, where that one has recently recovered some supply. So you know what, I'm gonna get them to just really cap out where they are right now. I'll get these guys to move into where the Philippine forces are. And let's see what we can do about busting through this area. Ah, perfect. 2 damage for 1. That's not bad. 2 more damage for 1. Not bad. And the engineers trade 2 for 1. Okay, so that is... It's not bad. It's not great, but we're making some progress there. 4 turns left for the 2 bridges, so I think we are fairly well underway. Yikes, these people are still proving to be quite, well, quite fierce. It's costing us a lot of those requisition points, which we could be stacking up for the future, for buying more units. But we're spending a lot of them on replacing our units, but be rest assured, we get, I believe, 15 per turn, at least for this scenario, and every time we capture one of these objectives, we get slightly more. And luckily that will be the end of that threat. And perfect, that's another thing captured, so this is all well and good. And right over here, this tank unit is still unsupplied, which is rather unfortunate. This one, incidentally, has full supply. So now it'll be a matter of just really dam busting through this area. Our planes are... Ooh, that'd be really risky sending these guys in. So you know what? I think we will just have to, well, pull them back. Okay, how are we looking for supply now? So, yeah, so the supply is quite dynamic. So efficiency over here is 9 and 7. So now we have, as opposed to having, say, 1 great tank unit, we have 1 decent one and 1, you know, either way, actually, both are really decent. Ooh. Now this is very, very good. This is going to be both bridges secured. So let's see, this is going to significantly increase our supply potential apparently, and this might destroy one of our tank units unfortunately, but you know what, that is something I'm going to put up with for the sake of extremely extreme boost to what we have going on right over here. So let's see. We're going to have to wait until that tank attacks. Because I don't think I can maneuver around it to capture that town. You know what? Here's what we'll do. In the back over here, let's get the damaged units fixed up like that. This one right over here, I'm gonna upgrade them. I'm gonna give them some trucks. Incidentally, that's gonna heal them as well. And next turn, they'll be able to move. So this is something we haven't seen before. How the troop movement works over here is that for infantry units, and I think for artillery and a few other units, you can attach transports for them. Better transports really just vary on like how fast they go and how much protection they give. And the idea being that, well, if you have really good units in terms of if you have really good units and you want to provide them with mobility, this gives you either a really armored, secured way of doing it, because I mean trucks suffer a penalty to defense when they move like that, or alternatively a really fast way, such as yeah, truck movement like that. Okay, so the nice thing about the campaign going forward from here is that we don't have to worry too much about, say, how well or how fast we have to advance from now on. So this is very good. In that case, we can just sort of we have some room to maneuver. So right now I'm thinking of getting this tank to go around because we had to capture all the cities, and to hit this one from the rear where the Stuart can't necessarily do too much to it. The rest of the troops, I'm more or less just kind of sending them forwards. Really, I know that's there. Yeah, there's still one defender right over here. I can bring some scouts down through there. Our people over here have entrenched in the city, so hopefully they'll be able to hold out against the Stuart without tank support. And would you look at that, the Stuart tank decides to attack. Alright. Right, well in that case I'm going to try to reduce it as best as I can. And now that we have that vehicle on the run, I don't think we'll need to encircle it anymore. We can just directly push upon it. Over here, let's get an assault going. Move those guys out, move these guys forward. Take care of the anti-tank gun, or at least, you know, try to. Infantry moves forwards, tank follows it, and other tank, I guess, will charge with it. So that was quite a nice little chain of events. And speaking about that, we should be able to get our bombers repaired. And now I think for air units, I'm always going to level them up with seasoned recruits, if you will, because I really want to get them to be experienced pilots, really, because that... well, since aircraft are limited in range, really, because they can only stay in the air for such an amount of turns, it'd be more effective if we kept them high in experience like that. Alright, so let's see, that's definitely a interesting way to retreat. And ooh, it still lives. Huh. Okay, so that's very interesting. You know what I'm gonna do? Reconnect our supply lines like that, and oh, over here, this Hago is starting to run out of supply. So it is not going to be as effective as before, but that is alright. And over here, let's see what we can do. Okay, so this assault is doing decently well. Let's get the tank to go through like that. And the rest of our forces to move on through. Ah, perfect. There goes the Stuart. Right, so it's been already 30 minutes. Wow. So I think we'll make a cut right here, and we'll continue off next time.